Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Art of Being a Woman. I'm your host, Courtney, and today we are discussing the art of becoming the love of your own life. I am very excited to discuss this topic today because this is something that I have been working on really recently, and I was honestly really stuck for quite some time. And I'm going to be very vulnerable in this episode because that is the whole reason why I started this podcast. Not only for me to be vulnerable, but also for other women to feel seen and heard and understood and comfortable to express their vulnerabilities, because I don't believe that there's any emotion that is unique. I believe we all experience the same emotions. Sometimes it's at different points in our life, but we are all aware of the complexities of being human. Becoming the love of your own life was really inspired based on myself. Some context about me. I am 25 years old. I have recently started my career as an occupational therapist. I have also started my passion project of writing and podcasting, and I am single. Now, I have these moments in my life when I love being single. And for the most part, I really do. Luckily, I really enjoy my own company. There are so many things I enjoy doing with myself, whether it's reading, painting, listening to music, watching movies, writing, talking, as you can hear me right now on this podcast. And I also have many siblings, so I spend a lot of time with them as well, and my friends, of course. Now, there are also moments in my singleness when I crave a relationship. And for a long time, I've really had a hard time with this because part of me really did not want to feel lack or feel like I was missing out on something when I was single. But at the same time, I didn't want to pretend that I didn't desire a relationship. And so it made me almost avoid my feelings when it comes to being single, and also avoid my feelings when it comes to wanting to be in a relationship, because I wasn't sure how to feel, as if there was a specific way of feeling. And that's what really led me to creating this post. I know that this topic will not apply to everyone because not everyone is single, and also not every single person struggles with this, but I did. And I'm sure that there's someone else out there in the world that does too. And so I believe that the right people will find this episode, they will click it, and hopefully they will finish this podcast feeling a lot better about themselves. Now, I'm going to be pulling 4 steps that I created on this topic. I wrote them on my Instagram account, She is Artfully Woman, where I discuss a lot of the topics that we speak about here on the podcast in a written format. So if you're interested, please go join me over there. I would love to have you. These 4 steps are going to help guide you on how to not only truly love your singleness on a deep level. I'm going to really unpack how we can overcome those feelings that we're missing out on something, and overcome those feelings that we're lacking something in our life. And on top of that, these steps are also going to really touch on the underlying root that exists beneath this desire to always want to be in a relationship. Step 1, we have release the feeling that something is missing. Step 2, fill the gaps you secretly leave open. Step 3, don't hand over what you've built. Step 4, realize you're attracted to your own potential. Let's get started. Step 1, release the feeling that something is missing. Even when we have an incredible life, we have great friends, we have a great job, we do great things, there can still be this longing and this feeling that something is missing. This is a human experience. We were not created to live our whole lives alone and then die. The whole point of existence is for connection and is for love, and not just love of ourselves, but love of each other. We are supposed to love each other. Unfortunately, in today's day, there is a lot of divide and there is a lot of lack of love in the world. And we can see this on social media, whether it's different cultures disagree with each other, different political parties disagree with each other. And it's not just a disagreement, It's people being unkind because of these differences. And so, in a world when there is so much chaos and hatred and a lot of negativity, it's very natural to want a reciprocal flow of love between you and another person. Now, things get tricky when we are in our single phase and we do love ourselves and we do enjoy our own company. But as we're in these moments, we get sad. And sadness is a powerful emotion, and it definitely exists for a reason. But we never want to desire something in life out of feeling like a victim and feeling like things don't go our way and that we're missing things that we need in life. Because the truth is, if we really, really were meant to not be single in this period of our life, we wouldn't be. And this doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us, that we have to keep improving on ourselves and change to become a better person. But what this means is that we have to ground ourselves in the fact that we are completely whole on our own. We were born alone and we will die alone. We were not put on this earth to just pour into a relationship with another person. That is definitely something that feels good and brings us joy and happiness, but I believe that each person's purpose is way bigger than that. And so when we feel like we are waiting for a different part of our life to unfold, then what we're unconsciously telling ourselves is that our life is not good enough to enjoy in this present moment fully. And that means that we're not vibrating on a level of happiness. We're vibrating on a level of lack and a level of disappointment. And I don't know too much about energy frequencies and vibrations, if I'm being completely honest, but I do know that whatever vibration you're in is what you're going to attract. And so if you do feel like so many things in my life are going good, but I wish I had someone to share my life with, and that makes me sad, and why not me, and when is it going to be my time? When you do that, you will attract people that feel the same way about their life. It doesn't mean that they're going to feel the same way about love necessarily. It could be though, but you will attract people that also look at their life the same way, where they also subconsciously believe that their life is so good, but they're missing certain things, and why couldn't their life play out differently, and why couldn't they just have that one thing? It's always out of reach. And so it's very important that our mindset and our perception of our circumstances and our reality is focused on what we do have and not what we don't have, so that we attract more of what we do have, and we attract more abundance, and we attract more positivity and not more lack. Step 2. We have fill the gaps you secretly leave open. Many times when we feel like something is missing, it's because we can feel like when this part of our life comes together, then we can continue moving forward in life and we can do a bunch of things that we can't do currently. And I hear that. I definitely have gone through those feelings and thoughts myself. The thing is with that, when we convince ourselves that we can't fully live our life and we can't fully do the things that make us happy until we achieve a goal, we receive something from the universe or God, we end up holding ourselves back from living life. And not only that, we end up vibrating as someone that doesn't feel whole and doesn't feel complete on their own. And again, this is subtle because many hyper independent women and men can feel this exact same way. And I believe they do. We can have so many areas in our life doing so well, except for one area in our life. And if we are constantly thinking about that one thing that we don't have and the one thing that is not working out for us, and we allow ourselves to believe that because we don't have this one thing, we cannot enjoy our life to the fullest in the present moment, then that ends up becoming our reality. This is something that I did not fully understand, because instead of me being honest with myself that I do have a deep desire for a relationship, I would almost avoid dealing with that feeling of discomfort that there was something that I wanted and I can't control having it, I was unknowingly vibrating out of lack, which only creates more lack. I had to look at the things that I told myself I couldn't do until that certain area of my life was complete. And I really had to change those beliefs because they weren't based in truth. Now, in terms of love and in terms of a relationship, we can have a desire to get married and to start a family. And those things cannot be done without a partner and without progressing in love. We still have to honor the parts within us that want to feel loved and want to experience love. Yes, if we are single, they will not come from a partner, but they can come from ourself, and they should come from ourself. The more that we embody a high sense of self-love and self-respect, the more we receive that from other people, and the more that we will attract that in relationships. And that is ultimately how we attract relationships in our life. Any part of us that avoids taking full responsibility for feeling fulfilled in life and feeling whole will lead us to reaching for something and craving something that we can't achieve. And that feeling will be experienced until we accept the truth that we don't need it to be whole. We don't need it to feel complete. Step 3. Don't hand over what you've built. Now, the first 2 steps were mainly about unpacking those feelings of lack when we don't have something that we desire and we don't have the love that we desire from another person. This step is more focused on when we do get into that ideal relationship that we're seeking and we are no longer single. Many times we can experience so much love from another person that we honestly don't have to work as hard to give ourselves a lot of love. Or at least we don't have to give ourselves as much love and attention as we did when we were single because someone else is filling our cup now. This is where things can get a little tricky. We want to maintain that same amount of self-love that we have had before we got into that relationship, which attracted a person that matched the amount of love that we gave ourselves and continue that for the rest of our lives and expand on that and grow our love for ourselves and, of course, our partner. Now, when we receive the love and care that we know that we deserve, we can feel like this is great. I know I deserve this. I've worked hard to receive this. I never settled in my life, and I've worked on building my confidence and I've worked on building my self-respect and my love for myself. But what can happen is we become so comfortable receiving this from another person that we stop doing it for ourselves as much. It's not that we stop altogether, but the desire to pour so much love into ourselves decreases because it's not an area we're lacking in anymore. And so it's important that when we are in a relationship and we are being treated exactly how we want to be treated, that we don't replace loving ourselves with the love that someone else is giving us. Because becoming the love of our own life means that we do not outsource our love. We do not outsource our self-esteem and our self-worth. This doesn't mean that we reject love from the person that we're with, but we remind ourselves that we don't need it to feel whole. We don't need it to feel complete. We are already complete. We are already full of love. And being with a person that loves us, their love is a bonus. It doesn't matter if the person that we're with is our soulmate, if they changed our life, we always stay the source of the love we feel within. Always. Step 4, realize you're attracted to your own potential. This step is truly life-changing. I remember I heard this from Shalyn Lester. She is amazing. She gives incredible advice, and I learned so much from her just by watching her videos on YouTube. Many times, when we really like a person, we can almost pedestalize them and see them as a little bit better than ourselves. And not because we think we're not great people, but because they have all these amazing qualities and they're inspiring. But the truth is, the reason why we are so attracted to certain people and the reason why we pedestalize ideals of the type of person that we want to be with is because those characteristics are the exact qualities that we really want to have within ourselves. And we are probably too shy to admit it to ourselves, or we don't think it's possible. Now, what do I mean by this? If you are someone that growing up, you've always had a crush on the popular guy, the party guy, chances are when you were young, you have always wanted to be popular and you have always wanted to go to parties and you've always wanted to be a party girl and be the life of a party. And a more adult example, if you are someone that is attracted to entrepreneurs and you're attracted to people that are very financially successful, it's truly because you want to be an entrepreneur deep down and you want to be financially successful deep down. Many times, what our mind does is that it will convince us that we don't want those things. We just love to watch other people have these amazing qualities and they're just so amazing. They're more amazing than us. But in actuality, we're only drawn to people because they remind us of who we know we're capable of being. That's why we're not all attracted to the same type of person. There's certain qualities that each individual finds very attractive, and it's because it's truly aligned with what they desire for themselves. I believe this step is very important for this post because it's one thing to become the love of your own life when there is no one else competing for that role in your life. That's when it's easier. But when we do meet someone that is truly incredible and is aligned with us and matches the energy that we have been putting out, we must remain grounded in who we are, even if they are truly the most amazing person we have ever met. When we are with someone that we feel is so incredible, that we do put them on a pedestal, it's truly because they're awakening our deepest potential. I hope that this episode gave you the boost that you needed to really look at your life again from a different lens. Look at your life from the lens of a creator. You truly are the creator of your own life, and you lack nothing if you focus on what you have going for you instead of what is not going for you. And I promise you, that is what attracts the things that you are lacking in life. And when you do receive the things that you have been patiently waiting for, but not really waiting for because we're not sitting around waiting, I hope the last two steps will keep you grounded in who you are and how amazing you truly are. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to today's episode. Please, if you enjoyed this episode, rate this podcast and share it with a friend or a family member. You never know who it's going to help out. I hope you have an amazing week. I love you all. Until next time, bye for now.